Since 1997, we've had net migration of 6 million people, but those numbers have been the biggest in the last couple of years, I think. I don't know if those numbers are right. That's what I was reading about.
I'd say it's a lot more than 6 million.
Yeah.
Because up to last year, the European Settled Status Scheme had registered 6 million Europeans staying here.
Oh, Europeans alone.
Yeah. 6 million.
Yeah.
There's at least a couple of million people in this country here illegally.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
There's new data out this week, and this is, again, relating to, this is legal immigration. Foreign nationals have a 27% higher imprisonment rate than native English people.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. And, we know that by looking at the people in the jails, the nationalities of them. Yeah. Albanians are number one.
Yes, correct.
I think I read somewhere that we've nearly got as many Albanians in jail in this country as Albania does in Albania.
Correct, and that was something I was going to mention. Right. So there's a list of countries with their basically imprisonment rates. Yeah. Top of the list are the Albanians.
And that's by far.
Yes,
it's a huge jump from second to one. Albania.
So I think English people right down here, and it's per head, per 100,000 people. Albanians are way up there. Yeah. The Albanian, you're right, the Albanian prison population in the UK now is nearly as big as the total Albanian prison population, which really suggests to us that their criminals are just they're shipping their criminals over here. Worse than that, we're taking them, aren't we?
They're shipping their criminals over here because this is rich pickings.
Yes.
This is, again, the lion on the African savannah, prowling, looking for easy meat.
Yeah. Possibly a hyena rather than a lion. I think a lion's probably a bit too noble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they know there's not much in Albania, money-wise and stuff like that. There's still criminals there. So they, like the Vikings did as well, they go out searching for better land to rob, steal, rape, and many are in the UK now.
Yeah. So I think, what I'm not getting now, Nick, perhaps you can enlighten me. We're now getting all these stats. We're now understanding that immigrants are costing us money. They're not giving us any benefit. Why are the people not on the streets rioting now? Because this has to stop, this insanity.
It does, and it will, and it takes a long time to get into the public psyche, but it's happening. We've had riots now over the stabbings of those 3 girls in Southport. Backfired a bit, so British people now, English people are on the back foot a little bit, going, I don't want to demonstrate because if all turns violent I could get 3 years in jail. So that has backfired, but people will get over that and will start coming out again when tragedies occur, not when stats get released, but when tragedies occur.
No, but the stats will kind of reinforce that tragedy.
No, absolutely.
Because then the placards will say immigration costs us more than, I think
absolutely. More people, we're going to hit a tipping point, and once we hit a tipping point, change will come very fast. Where that tipping point is, we don't know till we hit it. But all these things we talk about add into the tipping point. Yeah. I read somewhere that we're now spending hundreds of millions on Albanian prisons because we've got to get them up to a higher standard so we can send more Albanian prisons back to Albania. We did the same with Jamaica and some of the Caribbean islands. We spent hundreds of millions doing up their jails so we could send their citizens back in their jails.
How much money are we wasting?
We're just idiots.
We're pissing it away,
led by fools.
Yeah.
The way we go through our taxes and what we spend money on. And the reason why we do it is it's an easy solution. It's a solution now because I want to be elected again in 3-4 years' time. Doesn't matter, it's not value for money. Doesn't matter, it doesn't stop the problem. It just looks like I've done something on the problem, doesn't it? Don't I look good? Well, it doesn't solve the problem. Why are we spending money on other people's jails? If they're citizens of that country, don't deport them.
Yeah.
The fact that their jails are no good is no concern of us. How are Albanians in the country in the first place? Because the Albanians are not part of the EU, not at war, no genocide going on, no persecution going on.
Yeah.
Why do we allow them here? And did you see the case this week in court? illegal immigrant Albanian comes to the country, commits a crime, gets arrested, does jail time, gets deported, comes back illegally, marries a Lithuanian girl here, has a baby, taking it to the High Court, can't deport him now, quality of life. He's a criminal, already broke laws here, done time here, got deported, come back illegally, married a foreigner, not even an English girl, he married a foreigner, had a kid with a foreigner, and now the court says we can't deport him because he's got rights and he's the right to family life. We're mental for allowing any of this to happen. Going back to my very first point when I talk about the book, English men are to blame. I know they didn't do it all themselves, but the fact we allowed any of this to ever start and continue.
But if I'm not sure that's fair, and what I mean by that is, you know, I've been with some guys today doing some work on my house, and you know, these guys are sparkies and plumbers or whatever. How can he be to blame? And these are nice guys, you know, nice, hard-working English white guys. I'm happy to say it, English white guys. You know, how are they to blame for this, Nick?
Individually, they're not to blame as an individual, but as English men, all men, their number one role is to be a protector and a provider. That's what we'll be designed to do. Protect and provide. We've not protected this country. We've not protected our families. We've not protected our community. We've not protected our women, our girls. We failed. We haven't done it.
Yeah, no,
there may be lots of reasons why we've not done it.
Yes.
And there may be barriers to stop us doing it. But all that doesn't really matter because we didn't do what we should have done.
Yes, but we have done that, haven't we? We have worked our lives. I've worked my entire life for my wife and my family and the kids and all that sort of stuff. I've worked hard. I've done all that. I've also happened to vote for a party that has said it would do certain things to protect me here as well. That party hasn't done what I wanted them to do. It's not me. I've done my bit, Nick. I've worked really hard for my whole life. I've never stopped working. I've done my bit. I've paid my tax or whatever, and I'm paying my tax to a government that I voted for that's told me it's going to stop illegal immigration, that's told me it's going to get more housing, that's told me it's going to do this and the other. And none of those governments in my lifetime
have ever done it.
Yeah. So I don't think it's our fault. I think it's the system and the institutions that need tearing down. They're the ones to blame. If
we don't put the responsibility upon English men, we have what we have now, which is it's always someone else's fault.
Oh yeah, no, I think the solution lies in the hands of Englishmen.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the message I'm trying to get out to people.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah.
I want to hear Englishmen now saying this is what I'm going to do to start changing this country, improving this country.
So I think we're actually, you and I are circling back round to the same position now, because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes, this has happened. Here we are. The answer now lies in our hands. And it began after the Southport killings, when people started taking to the streets and saying this. Now, we've been suppressed. There's no doubt about it. We've been suppressed and oppressed in that since that happened. But we have to gird our loins and come out again, don't we? Basically.
Yeah.
You know, I think,
and not make the same mistakes this time.
And not make the same mistakes.
So if you're on a demonstration and the idiots next to you want to throw bottles at the police, it's down to the people in that demonstration to go, you three, you throw stuff like that and I'm going to smack you. People in those demonstrations have to police those demonstrations. Otherwise, the psychopaths, the drunks, the lunatics, the violent criminals will take charge. And it's another opportunity ruined of changing this country, because then it's all branded as far right, lunatics, racist, and we can't win by fighting the state.
Yeah.
Because the state's too big and powerful. We can't win like that. We can only beat the state by showing the country, our citizens and the world, how unfair the state is, how tyrannical the state is, how they treat us, how that we're non-violent, and look at what the police are doing to us. That's how you beat a gigantic state like we have now. We can't beat them by taking them on fisticuffs. They're too big, they're too powerful.
Yeah.
We've got to shame them. That's what Gandhi did.
Yeah,
when he took
so
on the British
I was actually
Empire.
thinking about Gandhi.
That's what Martin Luther King did. Well, was he? Well, I've not heard paedophile. I've heard lots of other stuff. I've not heard that. But Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King was special. Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, but when he'd go on demonstrations and tell everybody, put your Sunday best on.
Yes.
Because I want them to see us and look at us with respect. Put your Sunday best on.
He was phenomenal, wasn't he? I went, and interestingly, people always talk about racism and things like that, and very few people talk about Martin Luther King. And his message, his fundamental message, wasn't it? Judge me not by the colour of my skin, but by the content
of my character.
By the content of my character.
But that's out of fashion now.
Yeah, but it's out of fashion.
Yeah. These woke idiots don't like Martin Luther King.
No, they don't.
Don't like Gandhi.
No.
Because these people...
They didn't talk about identity politics.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not on their side.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.